Good morning, JP Outlaws. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am JP the Outlaw, the voice that makes the voice, your favorite color commentator, here to give you my Monday Night Raw review. 2000, April 9th, 19th, April 17th, 2018. There we go. I'm going to try to give you this review in under 8 minutes. A lot went down, so forgive me. In the ring with Jinder Mahal, they start the show off. Of course, Kurt Angle is gearing everybody up for the shakeup. Of course, Jinder Mahal comes out, interrupts him, talk trash about he's the number one guy on Raw. I deserve the same treatment as your Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. I don't get picked up by a limo, by vans. I get picked up by a motorcade. Jinder Mahal, of course, tooting his own horn. It didn't make any sense. Kurt Angle makes a match from any of the Raw talent in the back to come out and challenge Jinder Mahal for the universe. Kurt Angle made a match for anybody to come out and challenge Jinder Mahal for the U.S. Championship, and it so happened to get answered by Jeff Hardy. Of course, this match was okay. Jeff Hardy can make anybody look good inside the ring. And, of course, Jeff Hardy picks up the win for the U.S. Championship. Now, I like what they did with Jinder. They gave him the title at WrestleMania just to take the title off of him for Jeff Hardy on this episode of Monday Night Raw. I think that was a good look. Of course, I always said your middle championship or more like your signature championship, which is either the U.S. Championship or the Intercontinental Championship, should always be defended by a babyface. That way the heel can be the antagonist. Just my opinion of it. Backstage segment with Renee Young, No Way Jose, and Jinder Mahal. Of course, Renee Young was interviewing Jinder Mahal when No Way Jose came up and told him to turn that frown upside down and asked Renee Young to a conga line. You get a good match between Bayley and Sasha Banks. Actually, one of the best women matches on this show. I wish they would have let it end to see how this one panned out, but they was attacked by the Riot Squad, the debuting Riot Squad. So they come over from SmackDown Live. Forgot all about them in my roster shakeup. Authors of Pain versus Heath Slater and Rhino. We didn't need this match again. I don't understand why they did it. Of course, the Authors of Pain pick up the win over Heath Slater and Rhino. Miz TV with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now, the scene for this is that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had got an email from Stephanie McMahon instating them into the Raw roster, which is great news, by the fucking way. Now, granted, the Raw roster is stacked with premier talent, if you want to say so. With stuff like this, I don't see no reason to bring over AJ Styles. And this is why I made my statement like that, because if AJ Styles come over, he's definitely going to get lost in the shuffle. You know, on SmackDown, he's one of the biggest stars because there's not that many stars over on SmackDown. But, we still got the rest of the roster shakeup to happen to see how this works out. But anyway, back to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. The funniest interaction between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens thus far, when they explained to Kurt Angle that we just got our contracts from Stephanie McMahon in an email. She winds up signing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to Raw despite Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle with a perfect line, I'm surprised Stephanie McMahon had time to write. And perfect. It was the timing on it was beautiful. Kurt Angle, he not always does he hit certain deliveries out of the box, but this one he definitely did. He also makes the announcement of The Miz moving over to SmackDown Live due to Daniel Bryan having a little bit of pull over there. Now, I think this is a great move for The Miz. I like that they're just moving The Miz. I think giving him a little bit of time, of course, he just had his first shot. I wouldn't mind seeing Maurice back with him on SmackDown, making that Daniel Bryan versus The Miz storyline just a little bit better. But Miz cuts a great promo at the end of all this, and they pretty much go into the next match. Kurt Angle comes out and set up a 5-way match. Not 5-way. Kurt Angle comes out and set a 5-on-5 up. You'll have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the Miz Taraj versus Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and I believe Seth Rollins in a mystery partner. So that will be the main event for later tonight. Of course, they go into the tag team qualifying match between Broken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I actually like their entrance now. I like that they mix them together. They normally do that. They split two entrances into one entrance. The Revival, I would have loved for them to win at this, because I think they need a shot at the championships after all of what you've done to them. I would love to have seen the Revival versus the Bar at the World's Greatest Rumble, but it's going to be the woken Matt Hardy and woken Bray Wyatt at the Greatest Royal Rumble versus the Bar for the Tag Team Championships, which I think is going to be good. The backstage segment with Fandango. Oh, also you had the Bar on commentary. But Fandango and the Bar in a backstage segment where the fashion police write the Bar a ticket for wearing skirts. And that's all you need right there. Another backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, of course, being hyped after winning at WrestleMania. It was a monumental moment, says Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle brings over Ronda Rousey's trainer in the WWE as far as wrestling. He brings over from SmackDown Live Natalya. And I think that's going to be detrimental to Ronda Rousey. I wouldn't mind seeing Natalya and Ronda mix it up to earn the opportunity to fight Nikki Jax for the Women's Championship. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. Backstage with The Miz, Kevin Owens, and The Miz Taraj. The Miz, Kevin Owens, The Miz Taraj, and Sami Zayn all game planning to, of course, try to figure out how they're going to win this 5-on-5 matchup at the end of the night. The Miz tell them, don't worry about it. We're going to go out on top, and this is how it is. In-ring segment with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler has made his debut back onto Monday Night Raw, and I think this is a good debut for Dolph, a bad debut for Drew Galloway. Now, I don't mind him being somebody's heavy, but I know you're not going to do anything with Dolph Ziggler unless if you put Dolph Ziggler and Drew Galloway in some type of tag team to really boost Dolph Ziggler up. I wouldn't mind seeing Dolph and Drew Galloway go up against the Broken Hardys after they're done at the World's Greatest Rumble. But I think the biggest story here is Drew Galloway. The crowd reacted like Drew Galloway was a fucking superstar. And I think that's where your money is at. I think you should, of course, you can run this for however long you want to run it, but I think you should run this for a few months. Let Dolph Ziggler branch out on his own, gain the U.S. Championship while you push Drew McIntyre into the main event scene. I think he'll be better there. You know, I remember back in the day you used to have 10 main eventers on your roster at all times. I remember, you had Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, Mankind, Jericho. It was a lot. Chris Benoit back in the day. So now it looks like the WWE has enough roster to where as though they can build that. Of course, they beat the shit out of Titus Worldwide as they tried to recruit Dolph Ziggler and interrupted him as he was coming out to make the statement about him and Drew Galloway coming to Monday Night Raw. Another in-ring segment with Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, of course, comes out saying about, how he's going to take the championship off of Brock Lesnar, the Universal Championship, and, of course, Samoa Joe. I miss Samoa Joe. He comes out and he cuts a fantastic promo on Roman Reigns. And, Roman Reigns, through it all, he took it like a man, but he told the truth there. You're going to talk all this good shit. You're going to build up all this smoke and all this gas to ultimately do nothing. And it's going to be sad when you come out on the other end looking like somebody just stole your fucking candy. I thought this was a great promo. I even thought it was a better segment. I could have did without them, without Samoa Joe walking down to the ring twice. I think he should have walked down to the ring, faked it, and then walked back up the ring. And it would have been a better segment if you ask me. In the main event, seen Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman versus The Miz, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. Now, their mystery partner through all this ended up being Bobby Roode, the glorious one. And I'm not, of course, he was on my roster shakeup list. I'm not mad at this at all. The one thing that I can see that they may have a problem with, you have all these big guys inside of Monday Night Raw, and Bobby Roode is an average cat. He's not really super super masculine or super swole. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they work Bobby Roode, especially on the babyface side of things, into the main roster of Monday Night Raw. So very curious on that. Of course, the Miz Taraj winds up turning on the Miz. Decent match. It was okay. Nothing really to report on. They turned on the Miz, being as though that the Miz Taraj is going to wind up staying on Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't mind seeing Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel be teamed up with Kevin Owens and the Sami Zayn. That they can be their backup players if you want to make them that, But that's pretty much it. That's Monday Night Raw. I am JP the Outlaw. If you have time, please go out and check out my Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Raw and SmackDown shake up predictions. Okay, who's being traded where? Who's getting traded for what? To be honest, I'm kind of on point. I didn't do any call-ups, but for the most part, everybody except my first two picks came to fruition. So I'm waiting to see what they do on Tuesday nights SmackDown to see how bad my roster shakeup went out. Also, you have news up there, all of last week's news from WrestleMania and NXT Takeover New Orleans. All that is up there on the channel, as well as you can follow me on Twitter, JP Outlaw Labcast. It's that easy. Type it in, join the family. And then you also can join me on Facebook, where I am hosting a JP Outlaw page where you can get invited, you can get the latest updates and all the news and rumors off of my JP Outlaw page on Facebook. I am the Outlaw. Of course, I am out. I'm about to get dressed and get ready for work. Peace, and you guys be safe.